Well, good morning. This is Richie Phillips from Capital Region Sunday, and we have a special guest from AAA Hudson Valley, Mark Wells. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Richie.
Now, Mark, you work for AAA Hudson Valley, but there's a crucial reason why you are on this show this morning. Can you explain what you're doing?
Well, I do an annual fundraiser, which is kind of unique. It's actually a kayaking event down the Hudson River. We are out there to raise awareness for mesothelioma.
And what exactly is it's pronounced mesothelioma?
Yeah, it's pronounced a couple different ways, either mesothelioma or mesothelioma. People pronounce it both ways.
Okay.
But it's the same thing. It's a cancer. It's a rare cancer caused from exposure to asbestos.
We do so many fundraisers on this program, and a lot of times I'll ask the people involved if they have any personal connections, and they always do. And I know that you do.
My personal connection is my daughter was diagnosed with mesothelioma quite a few years ago, and she's still a survivor. And there is no cure for mesothelioma, so I thought my only course of action was try to raise awareness so we can help raise funds and steer money when there's research out there to help the cause.
Mm-hmm. So let's go through the information about the cause first, and then I wanted to ask you a few more questions about mesothelioma. Where is this going to be, this kayaking?
It's on the Hudson River, which is the Champlain Canal. We launched from Admiral's Marina in Stillwater. We paddled down the Hudson 8 miles to the beautiful Half Moon Lighthouse Park in Waterford.
Oh, it's beautiful there.
And in doing so, we travel through 3 of the locks on the Champlain Canal.
Oh, it's great.
So we actually fill the locks up with kayaks, which is quite an awesome sight. If anybody wants to follow us by land, it's quite a sight to see us go through. Now,
do you really have to be a super experienced kayaker, or could you be a beginner?
We've had beginners go with us.
Mm-hmm.
Many beginners. The skill levels go all ranges of skill levels.
And the first time you did this, I noticed you only had like 3 or 4 kayakers, and it's really, really grown.
Yeah, we only had 3 people. Actually, the first year I decided to do it was my daughter was actually scheduled for surgery, so I didn't really do a lot of planning, but I wanted to make a statement and paddle down the Hudson River. My first paddle was 16 miles. That was what I decided to do, and I got interviewed on TV. A friend of mine now, who I didn't know at the time, saw me on the interview and contacted me within like 10 or 15 minutes, and she said, "I'm going to help you." She's also a meso survivor.
Wow.
And she paddled with me the 16 miles.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And she has paddled with me every year so far.
Now, is there a cost to enter this? There is, because you're raising money, of course.
Right. We do have several sponsors who help us out.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a registration fee, which is normally $25, but after the 23rd, it went up to $50. So you can still register right now online.
And what's your website address?
It's kayakingformeso.org, and that's the number 4.
Yep.
Through that website, there's a link to register online, and you can register right online. You can buy raffle tickets we're raffling off a kayak this year.
Great.
And also an iPad mini.
That's fantastic. I'm going to put all this information in a blog so people don't have to write this out while they're driving, of course. And you also have your own email, markwells@kayakingformeso.org?
Correct. They can contact me at that address, yes.
Okay. More about the actual disease. I'm a little bit confused. Your daughter contracted this when she was very, very young, or did she have exposure to asbestos?
Well, yes, obviously she did, but we're not exactly sure how she was exposed, but we're pretty sure she was exposed as a baby. The house that she grew up in was an old house that I was doing renovations on. That's one possibility. I worked as a parts manager, so I handled asbestos brake parts and stuff. I could have brought it home on my clothing. So we're pretty sure it was just secondhand exposure at some time, because the latency period for mesothelioma is typically 30 to 50 years, and people are normally in the 60, 70 years old when they get it.
Exactly.
So for her to be diagnosed at age 16 is pretty rare.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because I know somebody, a friend of mine, had a father who passed away, and they tried to prove that it was from asbestos, and they never could prove it. I know there's been like these class action suits regarding meso, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, there's no way you can actually prove where it came from, but you can certainly definitely was exposed as a baby, because there's no other way you get mesothelioma other than.
Now, what is the prognosis for her personally right now? How is she doing?
She's doing okay right now. The prognosis is never very good for anybody who gets mesothelioma. It's typically 12 months is what they give you once you're diagnosed.
Oh.
But she is one of the longest survivors that I know of, so she's 28 now. So
wow, she's tough.
Yeah, so she's been through a lot of operations. She's had a tough life. But like I said, right now everything is kind of status quo until the next thing.
Now, do you expect to do this every year? I'm sure you're motivated to keep doing this until they find a cure.
Yeah, that's a good question. I wasn't really sure what my plan was when I first started this. I just wanted to make a statement, but here we are, the fifth year now we're doing it, and this is going to be the biggest year yet. We have probably close to 2 more people registered this morning. I think that might have put us over 140 people kayaking this year.
That's fantastic.
So we're going to fill the locks up as we go down the river.
Sure. And this year's paddle is also dedicated in memory of someone else.
Yes. We've dedicated this year's paddle to Dan DeRusso. He was one of our 6 Meso survivors who attended last year. We lost him this past January.
Wow.
So this year's paddle is dedicated to him. His wife and children will be at the event. So it's kind of a solemn event for that reason. But it's all about we're building a Meso family, I guess. We have 6 survivors attending this year, and probably about 30 Meso family members will be attending the event. So it's kind of nice for everybody to get together because people are coming from quite a distance. We have actually people coming from 6 different states other than New York, as far away as Michigan.
No kidding.
One unique thing that we do is when as part of the registration you get a T-shirt. Now we have 3 different color T-shirts. I don't know if I'd mentioned this before. Meso survivors wear one color T-shirt. Family members wear another color. All other wear a third color. So when you come to the event, everybody's in T-shirts, and you immediately know who's affected by the Meso. So it's easy to approach somebody who's a Meso survivor or a family member, and it's easy to to communicate with people that way. You don't have to ask who's got Meso or who's.
It's funny. I've done fundraisers for the Heart Association and so forth, and walks and bike rides and that type of thing. And it is great when you see those T-shirts. It really puts it into focus. And you see how many people, you see the families come together and they have the names of the people on the T-shirts, and it's a moving, very emotional experience. And
yeah, it's a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
The town of Half Moon, actually, we moved our event from the 16-mile paddle from a couple of years ago down to we only go 8 miles now. Town of Half Moon had approached me a couple of years ago and asked me if we could end the event down at their brand new park there in Waterford, and it's a really beautiful park. We ended there last year. It worked out beautifully. The fire department helped us out at the end. They cooked for us. We have New York State Police Marine Dive Unit is on the water with 2 boats. They escort us all the way down the river to the locks. We have 2 or 3 other fire departments on the water between the locks for extra support. Admiral's Marina is just they're great. They're all excited about us coming again this year because we launched right from their marina. And, it's quite a crowd that we have in the morning. We also have shuttle buses available in the morning because this is a one-way paddle.
Right.
People drop their kayak off at Admiral's Marina, drive down to the park, park their car, and the shuttle bus brings them back. So at the end of the paddle, their car's at the end of the paddle waiting for them.
They sure don't want to walk back to their cars after that. Definitely.
No, they certainly don't. So they hang out and have something to eat, and the fire department does a wonderful job. They did an awesome job last year. But it's quite a spectacular sight. If anybody's following by land, I do have on my website the scheduled times of the event and as the approximate times that we go through each lock, and I also have the addresses there. So if anybody wants to follow by land, you can actually go to each of the locks. Lock 4, Lock 3, and Lock 2 are the locks that we go through, and the addresses are on there. So you can actually go to the locks and stand right up above the locks and watch us go through. It's quite colorful.
Now that's great to watch it, but the ultimate goal is to raise money here. So what can our listeners do here to help if they wanted to donate? Well,
you can. There are links on my website that you can make a direct donation. Right, and like I didn't say this before, but all the proceeds go to the Mesothelioma Applied Research Foundation. That's where all the money goes.
Mm-hmm.
And they can make a donation right through our website. They can make a donation if they decide to register. They can make a donation through there. They can buy raffle tickets. They can come down and make a donation in person. We want people to come because it's quite spectacular.
And a great cause. Well, many kudos. And thanks so much for calling in this morning. Mark Wells, thanks again.
Hey, thank you.
That was Mark Wells with a fantastic kayaking event benefiting the Mesothelioma Applied Research Foundation. More information on our website at WGNA.com.